Ever since the prices of affordable mirrorless and point-and-shoot cameras started going up over the course of these unprecedented times, I've been looking into webcams to see if they've improved for streaming purposes. And now that means that I've been looking at the higher-end webcams, since the cheaper ones have only been getting worse over time. The C920, for example, now looks totally awful to me when it actually looked great just about 3 years ago. And even then, it was many years old at that point. But today, I'm going to be taking a look at the Logitech StreamCam and doing a small comparison with the Razer Kiyo Pro, because I do think that these are two of the most premium webcams at the moment, but there are still going to be more coming up later on. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Before we continue, I just wanted to remind you that we have a Twitch channel where we stream every Friday and Saturday from 8 p.m. and to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, so why not go ahead and drop a follow? And also don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and also make sure to check out the merch store. There's plenty of black and white sweetness to choose from up there, so go ahead and check that out. And then make sure to take a look at the podcast as well, as the podcast always goes live every Wednesday and Sunday. And with that said, enough rambling, let us get straight into the video. So just as a heads up, I will be streaming with this webcam tonight, the same night that this review comes out, so that you can get a pretty good idea of what it's like to stream with it, so that I can answer your questions about it live as well. Links to my Twitch are going to be down in the description. Now let's go ahead and begin with an unboxing. So here's the thing, I bought this used from the Amazon warehouse deals, and this is the most disgusting unboxing I have ever been subjected to. I don't understand how something like this can be shipped out to anyone. Allow me to ruin your impression of this unboxing. Open up this rotten box while avoiding the piss-stained corners, but that's easier said than done. Once it's open, start to just pull everything out in one swing and try to cover your nose at the same time. Then go ahead and remove the webcam from its packaging while trying not to touch the cable at all and trying to avoid the cardboard as much as you can, since it has a lot of that disgusting gunk from the outside of the box as it all seeped to the inside. Luckily, the webcam itself was unstained, but destroy this box immediately after and do a deep cleaning of this cable. Never mind that. Just do the entire webcam, to be completely honest, and then once that's done, the unboxing is complete. And the exterior design consists of this plastic build with this nice looking fabric on the front. It's got clips all around this webcam so that you can use it to mount it in portrait mode or in landscape mode, whichever one you prefer, along with the mounting system, of course. The cable is actually pretty thick and has USB-C on the other end, but this is not a detachable cable, which is a bit of a loss here. So good luck if your webcam breaks, especially after arriving in this literal piss-poor condition. But I don't see that happening, as it is a strong cable and the build is actually fine for the money. The mounting system is also pretty modular and it feels pretty good, so you can definitely count on this having a great grip. There's not much really to complain about regarding the build or the exterior here, minus that cable issue, so let's go ahead and talk about the specs. So this webcam does support up to 1080p 60 recording and streaming, though that's about everything that's really so great about this webcam, if I'm honest. However, there's still a lot more that we're going to be talking about moving forward. So Logitech does also offer some software called Logitech Capture to customize the settings on this webcam, do some recordings, add some filters, and the works. The software is fine, and I do appreciate how simple it is to use. Now, let's go ahead and talk about video quality. This webcam looks okay. There are things about it that I do like. I did both a low light and well lit test without making any changes in the software. Under good lighting, this webcam can look pretty sharp, especially when it comes to the microphone, for instance, the microphone that's right in front of me here. You will also notice that this camera is capable of delivering on shallow depth of field. However, this implementation isn't great. The background looks more pixelated than blurry, but it is still noticeable. The subject, it looks fine, but in terms of colors, this webcam actually seems to struggle a bit in some ways. By default, this webcam feels pretty flat to me, which is a disappointment. And also, it does seem to have a pretty narrow field of view. I didn't see or notice any settings that would indicate that I can actually use this as a wide-angle camera. so I don't think that it really has that functionality, although it's not exactly a terrible thing that it is as narrow as it is, because you still get enough space in the frame to fit a lot of stuff. But I do have an example of something that does this better, and that is actually coming up in another episode. But in low light, however, it does a surprisingly good job at sharpening the subject, but a lot of grain starts to get introduced as expected. But I would consider this to be a pretty decent camera for low light performance. In other words, for like Zoom meetings and Discord calls, no one is really going to laugh at you for having this. Alright, so here I'm going to be comparing two different $200 webcams that shoot at 1080p 60, the Logitech StreamCam and the Razer Kiyo Pro. Comparing the two, it's pretty easy to see the differences since they both take a very different approach here. I have them both set to their default settings, but there are a lot of differences between the two here. The StreamCam is more sharp in its image quality, and in terms of colors, it is more natural by itself. You also get to use this at 24 frames per second, 25 frames per second, 30 frames per second, 50 frames per second, and 60 frames per second, which allows for more flexibility in the frame rate. This webcam does a better job at handling skin tones and highlights, so my face looks more natural on camera. Autofocus is also better with this camera, and I would trust it, but it does have a more narrow field of view, and the depth of field effect isn't really that great, but it is there at the very least, and I guess that it does look better with it than without it. And the Kiyo Pro does have a wider field of view with the option of narrowing it down if you want, but the options are there and they all work well. Razer's image is more colorful by default and leaves everything in focus, which to some is not really that great of a thing, especially if you do want that depth of field effect, and to others it's fine. To me, I think it's fine. Low light performance is better in that the compensation is actually much more pleasing without introducing as much grain, and it even has HDR support if you want that. However, the colors are less natural and it feels like there's a beauty filter on it to make my face completely mark-free, which is only a preference thing and it kind of looks more fake as a result, to me at least. Autofocus is also worse on this webcam. Also going back to the colors again on this one, there seems to be a strong leaning towards blue because the image just looks cooler, but that means that if you do have any kind of blue lights in your room and they happen to be shining on you, to some extent they're going to be overly emphasized, and it's really just not going to be a very pleasing look. You can play around with the white balance if you want, of course, but by default, if you wanted something that just looked great by default, you might have to deal with that. So honestly, neither webcam offers much in the way of customization while making a significant difference even within their respective software, which is a shame. So in conclusion, I don't think that the StreamCam is a bad webcam, in spite of all of my criticisms of it earlier. In fact, I do think that for general use, the StreamCam is the better camera of the two, since it handles skin tones, sharpness, depth of field, etc. better than the Razer's offering. It's built well and uses USB-C, which I definitely won't be complaining about. The Razer Kiyo Pro, however, I believe is the better webcam for streamers because of the wider field of view. The look just works better if you're in a live streaming scenario. It's just more interesting. It offers a lot more entry to the viewer, if you ask me. So with that said, I would also choose the Kiyo Pro as my webcam between the two because I stream a lot. However, I think that the StreamCam is overall the best webcam of these two because it offers the best image quality of the two, the most natural colors, and Logitech software is always more reliable than Razer's stupid Synapse software. So would I recommend the StreamCam? Honestly, both webcams are completely overpriced and they should cost half as much as they do. But considering that the market for mirrorless cameras and point-and-shoot cameras is a little bit iffy right now, you kind of don't really have too many options here if you do want good image quality for yourself, unless you already own a camera that would work like this. So right now, this is actually the best budget solution for now. So yeah, go for it. And if you are interested in purchasing this webcam, then I'll be making sure to leave affiliate links down to Amazon in the description. If you end up using any of my links, then that does end up helping out the channel quite a bit. So you're going to be finding links like Lesser, which is going to be a great tool for helping you find discounts. And there's also going to be another tool called ABUNDA, which is going to be great in case you would rather finance this. No credit card required. It's just very simple financing. Links to all of that down below, so do make sure to click on those, whichever one you're most interested in. And also, don't forget that we do have the Tech Summit podcast here, so make sure to subscribe for that. I also stream on Twitch, so don't forget that. And there's also the Discord community, which is a pretty lively community, so do stop by over there, and the rest of my social media like my Instagram and my Twitter. But this has been Francisco from Tech Summit. Thank you for watching, and I will be seeing you all later. Enjoy.